It's an interesting site. I mean, it's basically a forest and it's inaccessible for 6 months of the year.
The building is a statement to 11,000 years of rich cultural heritage, and that's from its name, which stands for as far as one can see, to orientation of the building, the architecture and the interior design. All of these were shaped by close collaboration with the representatives of the Wabanaki nations.
And talking to the architect Todd Saunders right from the very beginning was to try and source everything, both the materials and the skill, as locally as possible to the site. It would be very easy to go to very sophisticated engineered timber products and ship them all in from miles away, but it wasn't within the spirit of the project. Both working with local communities and sort of facilities, local sawmills, using the timber from the forest. So that was a fundamental.
In a more pragmatic sense, we've done a lot of research on locally available timber species, for example, and that was to strike a balance between what was abundant to the site, because obviously we didn't want to deplete natural resources, but also a species that had sufficient structural characteristics to be able to work as our primary structure.
We set ourselves a challenge to basically take this as an element and see how far we could push it by assembling different sections, different column sections, different beams, but all based on a standard 4x2 plank.
Gluing, screwing, CNC cutting, and through that exploration, and it was a very extensive process, we've arrived at actually a very simple idea. Again, going back to that sort of thoughtful design that respects the locally available skill of those bespoke glue-on columns.
And it was really enjoyable, I have to say. It was kind of, the first time we'd ever stripped everything back to something so basic, but actually what came out of it was really interesting. The aspiration was not to do a sort of traditional approach where you put up a structural frame and then the interior designer would come in and put sort of exhibition and furniture and so on. Everything had to be, totally integrated.
I think there were two big aspects of the project that made it really special for me. One was stripping it back to those simple 2x4s and coming up just with this different ideas for what do you make out of them. It was just incredibly fun, creative process that you don't often get to be involved in as a structural engineer. And then the second element for me was I actually found the sort of cultural, historical and social context behind it incredibly interesting, and it's a great privilege to be part of a project which really showcases that. I think that was really special and it was brilliant to be a part of that.